Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I'm going to be telling you and showing you guys a few tips on how to get the best Minecraft host specifically for you and your needs. For example, if I were to say I use the host Minecraft hosting.pro, you can use the code SoulCodes for 10% off if you do buy it with them. But for example, I use that host. It works great for what I use and my needs. It might not be what you want. It might not be in the location you want, and I might not have the features you want. So that way, in this video, I have 5 tips that I'm going to be giving you guys that will help you choose the best Minecraft host and save you a little bit of money in the process. And then at the very end, I'm going to list off a few servers that I've used in my experience and that I find that are pretty good quality for the price. So this is mainly going to be geared specifically toward the Minecraft hosting, but it does work on any type of hosting, whether it be a specific game server or web hosting. These tips will help you out on that. So let's get right into it. So the first point I wanted to mention to you guys is ask around. What do I mean by this? I mean go on forums such as Spigot, MC Market, MC Forums. Those are the top 3 that I highly recommend you guys asking about a specific host, or if you're very brand new to hosting your Minecraft server, just ask, make a thread and say, hey, what is a good host, and you'll get plenty of recommendations. If you guys already have a specific host that you want, or like a specific location, you'll get plenty of responses for hosts in that specific location. I highly recommend MC Market because they have threads designated for hosting specifically, as well as Spigot also has that as well for hosting advice. So that is point number 1. Point number 2 is after you have sort of narrowed your choices down, look for reviews, either Google reviews of that host or ask on those forums that I mentioned previously. Just ask, hey, has anyone used this host? What do you like about it? And just look for reviews on the forums, or either Google it and you'll get plenty of reviews, usually if it's a popular host. If it's a brand new host, obviously there's not going to be any reviews, but just look around on the forums because there's plenty of reviews out there. Now point number 3 is after you have narrowed your choices down to at least 1 or 2 hosts, before you buy on that host, highly recommend you send in a ticket before buying. You're asking, hey, why? What's the reason for that? Because when you send in a ticket, just ask some questions related to that host. For example, what I usually like to do is ask, what are your locations, what is your hardware. Even if it says on the main page, this gives you a very good estimate of their support response time and their quality of the response, as well as how much of in-depth and how much knowledge they have on their support team. So that is why I say send in a ticket before you buy. That way you have a good estimate of the response of those tickets that you send in. For example, if you really have an issue with your host after you buy from them and you don't even get a response until like 2 or 3 days later, that is not very good whatsoever. So if you send in a ticket and you don't get a response within 24 hours, I don't really recommend you guys use that host, because if you have a dire situation, for example, your server is getting hacked or DDoS or something along those lines, and you send in a ticket, 3 or 4 days, that's not going to cut it. That is going to shut down your server, and you might not even be able to access it from those days because support is just crappy. So that is point number 3. Point number 4 is look for key features specifically to that host. For example, key features that all hosts should have are DDoS protection, full access, full panel access 24/7, and good hardware. Those are the top ones that any host needs to have in order for your server to run properly. And then number 5 is sort of another sub point, but look for unique features on that host, because there are hundreds and thousands and hundreds of thousands of hosting companies out there, and each one has its own unique features. For example, I've seen some with free web hosting, or just web hosting that is connected to that host, like free dedicated IPs, free subdomains, free domains, discount codes, the list goes on and on. So those, look for unique features for your host, see if you can get like some discounts or whatever, and free subdomains, stuff like that. And then coming in at tip number 5, this is a huge tip. Highly recommend you guys use this. What is tip number 5, you ask? Well, tip number 5 that I have is make your own server from your computer first. Why did I say that? Because if you guys pay for a server, it usually takes like 2, 3, 4, even a month to even get it set up before you open your server to the public, depending on what type of game mode, if you're running a network, and just so many different variables that happens between your buying a server and you opening it. There's a whole bunch of gap there in between, and you could be wasting quite a bit of money if you're running a network or just like a single server. You could be wasting quite a bit of money through that. So that's why I say make your server on your home hosted server, put all your plugins, get all your plugins configured, get all your world set up, get builds all done on your home hosted server first before you buy your host. This will save you a ton of money. So this will save you quite a bit of money. You'll get used to managing a server if you're pretty new to it. That way, when you buy a host, you can just have it all set up. You just transfer files, boom, your server is ready to open to the public. Might even fix a few bugs here and there, but pretty much the majority, 90% of your server is already set up from your home hosted server. That way, when you buy the host, boom, you're all ready and set. So now I'm going to list off a few hosting companies that I've used in the past. I just like their quality and just their servers ran pretty well for me. So we'll start off with a few. For example, Meloncube. I used Meloncube for about a month or so. The only issues that I had was with my bungee cord server. It only sort of disconnected people here and there, but I had a few friends that hosted on Meloncube. They didn't have any problems, so I think that was something on my part, or either the node was broken or something along those lines. But other than that, they had good support and good pretty much everything else. Server ran pretty smooth. Another one is Bisect Hosting. I used Bisect Hosting for probably about 2 to 5 months, somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that was good as well. Anvil Node, Tiger Node, Extra MV, those are all great hosting. And then the one that I use currently is hosting.pro. You guys know, because of the discount code, you can use 10% off and all that great stuff. Hashtag sellout in the comments. But anyways, those are the hosting companies that I've used. There's all the points that I have for you guys. If it did help you, leave a like down below, or even comment any suggestions that you have that I should have added to this list. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. I will see you guys next time.